Namaste, I'm Takvorian-Mishra, here with you to discuss some more coconut matters. As you know, last week we prepared a very special sva coconut probiotic recipe, and I told you that I would show you what you can do with all the coconut that you're going to have on your hands after you've used the water of the coconut. So there are several things I would like to show you today, but we'll do the most basic thing, the most, immediate thing that you can do with coconut, especially if you don't want to use it right away, is to freeze it. And you can freeze it either in chunk form. Literally, you can put the whole thing with the shell in the freezer if you'd like, but it's better if you make things easier on yourself and actually take the hard shell off and freeze it afterwards. And there are a couple of things that you can do with that. First, of course, you can see this one is cut or broken unevenly. I just broke it on the floor, and then I can break it further like this. And then this is not a very safe thing to do, so you have to be careful. As you know, things can be a little dangerous sometimes in the kitchen anyways, because we're working with fire and knives and all that. So be very cautious when you're doing this. But basically what you're doing here is you have to get a good knife, something that's really sturdy, not thin on the cutting part, and then you just insert it a little bit and you use it like a lever to lift up. Sometimes small pieces come off, sometimes you can lift like larger chunks. So as you can see, I got a big piece here. So sometimes if you have really very stubborn pieces that are stuck to the shell, then you need to freeze it. You need to freeze the whole thing for about 20 minutes, and then you take it out, and then it should come off easily. And sometimes when it's really stuck and it's not coming off, then there are other things that you can do. For example, I have here, so I'm going to put these here. I have here a device that you can buy from any Indian grocery store. It's a little rustic device, but it works nonetheless. You need a smooth surface. It's not sticking on this surface right here, that's why I'm putting a plate underneath it. And you have this little lever here that you bring down. It has a pump here which secures it. Basically, if you go like this, you see it's secure now. And then what you do is, this is a little more time consuming. So, okay, first we need to make sure that this is really stuck. Okay, now it is. And then, of course, it would be easier if this was a hard surface. Basically, the idea is you just insert it. Well, my plate is moving right now, so it's going to be a little tricky to show you this, but you're just going to turn this, and the blades here are going to grate the coconut off of the shell. So it'll take you a little while, but once you get into the swing of it, it works pretty well, and then you can just capture all the coconut that's been grated, and then you can put that in a Ziploc bag or in any other kind of container and then freeze that. And that's very easy to use because then you can just take, a teaspoon or a tablespoonful, and no matter what you're cooking, whether it's a dal or any vegetables, you can just throw it in, and then it'll give your food some flavor. You'll get all the nutrition from the coconut, and so it's a nice way to do things. Otherwise, if you don't want to use this little device, which can be a little hard to use, I mean, you need a little practice, what you can do is all these pieces that, the chunks that you've taken out of the shell, you can just throw them into a blender and then blend them into smaller pieces and then freeze that. But I prefer to freeze them like this and then, do something further with them. So this is one quick, easy way of, storing your coconut basically after you've used up the water from it and you're not ready to put all of it into any food or any recipe right away. So freezing is the option, and you can keep it in the freezer for several months. It's not something that's going to go bad, so it's totally cool to do that. So this is step one. Now I want to show you some other things, a couple of recipes actually. So